Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And today we're going to be talking about bed bugs, and hopefully they don't bite a bunch of people here. So we're working for there. Here's the start of the show, as you can see in this picture. Here's a picture of a bed bug, and there's some other bed bugs here as well. You can tell the ones that have been fed or have eaten as they are much larger and they're darker in color, but those are a typical size of a bed bug. They're typically a six-legged, wingless insect that are typically small and flat. And like mosquitoes, bed bugs feed on the blood from animals or people, and their natural color can range from pale white to a dark brown, but they turn kind of a rusty red color, as you saw in that photo, after they've had their lunch from you. Bed bugs are small brown insects that look a little like wood ticks somewhat, and they're about the size of an apple seed if you want to try to gauge their size. They typically spend the day in a small little crack or crevices in your bedroom, often in the bed itself, and at night they come out and they bite and feed on the blood of the person sleeping in the bed, and then return to their hiding places after that. And bed bugs are not known to transmit any disease, but of course they can still make someone's life very, very, very miserable with the scratching and itching that they cause as they have bitten their victims. Life of the bed bugs, they live for 10 or 11 months under normal conditions. An adult female can lay several eggs a day and hundreds over her lifetime. The eggs are very, very tiny and they're hard to detect. So immature bed bugs have the same basic shape as the adults, but are very much smaller and lighter in color. A bed bug molts or sheds its skin probably 5 or 6 times before becoming an adult, which are at that time they're capable of reproducing. It has to have at least one meal of fresh blood before each molt. So under ideal conditions, a bed bug can go from hatching to an adult in as little as a month. The shape of the bed bug changes after it is fed. Before it has lunch, it is quite flat in order to hide in the cracks and roundish a little bit. After feeding, the bug is longer, no longer flat, and is more of a purplish or reddish color. And under the right conditions, the adults can survive up to 1 year without any feeding, which is one reason why the bed bugs are so hard to get rid of at home, because they can live so long and they can hide out in a lot of the cracks and crevices in your bed or bedroom and hide out and not have to eat for a period of time. As you can see in this picture, shows a bed bug, and it's about 5 millimeters in length, if that helps you gauge the size. And you can see, according with a next to a coin there, a Liberty coin, what the size of those bed bugs are. So they are small and are easy to hide and hard to detect. Now, the history of bed bugs, they've date back to the 1700s. Bed bugs were almost eradicated between 1950 and as early as 1970, and they were eradicated because they used the chemical DDT, and that took care of all of the bed bugs, but the chemical was found to be a carcinogen, and in 1972 DDT was banned for any use of any type. And since then, night reports have increased over 81% since the year 2000, and 9 out of 10 pest control companies have treated bed bugs on a regular basis. Why the increase in the bed bugs? Well, growth from nymph to adult is complete in 37 to 128 days. A blood meal is required between molts, and it usually takes 8 days between the molts. So they're as they're growing, they're having lunch quite often. And you can see the potential infestation if you look at this graph. One adult female that lays eggs on day 1 can lay 7 eggs per week for 52 weeks. After 30 days, the first hatchings have matured and they can begin laying eggs at the same rate. And assuming each hatch includes 4 male and 3 female offspring, this is a picture of what the the infestation could look like. So you can see from one bed bug and into 6 months later, there's just thousands of bed bugs.